Well, I've already pissed off the Nintendo fans and the Call of Duty fans in the last 2 weeks. Let's go for the hat trick and do Sonic the Hedgehog as well. Let's see if I can encourage the drive-by fanboys to break my last 2 front windows. Sonic X Shadow Generations is a game highlighting both Sonic the Hedgehog, edgy teen woodland creature with angry eyes, and Shadow the Hedgehog, slightly edgier teen woodland creature with even angrier eyes, that Sega came up with after original Sonic's edginess wasn't quite hitting anymore, and American high school kids weren't being sent home enough for wearing his t-shirts. So Shadow is like Sonic, but he's dark and broody with the black and red colour scheme and carries a gun and wears rollerblades, the darkest and most broodiest of the traversal footwear because it's got the word blade in it. And it's all about as laughable as it sounds, even more so now Sonic Team apparently feel they need to make a gushing tribute to the depth and creativity of this character that literally any Sonic fan could have come up with by themselves, given some black and red markers, the back of a homework diary and a few awkward high school years. I will of course be focusing on the Shadow Generations half of the experience offered, the rest is just a remaster of Sonic Generations, and I said all I needed to say in my original review of that back in, get the fuck out of town, 2012? Man, I always think of Sonic Generations as a recent Sonic game. I mean, logically, a shamelessly nostalgic retread of a series would be something you do towards the end when you're about ready to move to hospice care. No, look at that, wikis don't lie. Sonic Lost World, Sonic Boom, Sonic Forces all came out after Generations did. Maybe I got confused because I assumed Sonic probably fucking wishes he'd gone into hospice care before those 3 came out. Anyway, as I say, it's the new game Shadow Generations I'm looking at, which has been bolted onto the side of this remaster in much the same way Bowser's Fury was bolted onto the re-release of Super Mario 3D World. And what fired my interest in reviewing this game was when I heard Shadow Generations takes an interesting open world approach to the gameplay established in the base game, much like Bowser's Fury did, thinking about it. Hang on, the title screen where you select the game is formatted exactly like how Bowser's Fury did it. Sonic, do you still think Mario is your main rival? That is so fucking adorable. Mario hasn't thought about you in fucking decades. Not since the last time you were at the Olympics together and all that he thought was, Mamma mia, did somebody clean up a load of blue paint, turn the mop upside down and glue angry eyes to it? Anyway, much like Sonic Generations, Shadow Generations is a highlight reel of Shadow's previous appearances, and as could be expected, the result is a much shorter game, because he's only playable in like 3. But we do our best to pay off what plot was established in those, which was helpfully summarised for me in a video on the title menu. Apparently, Shadow was created to be the perfect life form. If it were me, I'd design the perfect life form to be tall enough to ride the roller coasters by one Dr. Robotnik. Not the same Robotnik as the established one, presumably a cousin or a contemporary, or at least someone who goes to the same moustache barber. And there was me thinking this was going to get needlessly confusing. The Doctor had a doe-eyed young daughter with whom Shadow had a slightly suspect relationship, and I guess it was her dying that sent him down the path of being dark and broody and listening to Linkin Park, which is what makes it funny when temporal fuckery causes her to show up in Shadow Generations and Shadow acts like an embarrassed teenager when his parents come to pick him up from the school disco. Also, Shadow's got the DNA of an evil alien who you can tell is evil because they're purple, the established evil colour, and their goal was to tempt Shadow over to the side of painting himself purple, and that whole dynamic plays out basically the same as it did before along what passes for Shadow Generations' plot. You start out in the Sonic Generations trademark white void. Actually, I don't think you can trademark a white void, but if you can, the fucking printer paper people will have you set for life. And through completing standard 3D Sonic style levels, the hub world gradually manifests until you've got a veritable Disneyland of terrain and platform challenges. Only one of the piddly little Disneylands, mind, because there's only 4 levels for the hub world to connect. So to pad things out, you have to do both acts of the level and then go back to do some extra challenges like collect X amount of rings or sing along faultlessly to the Black Parade for 1 minute before it lets you into the boss fight. But if you're into 3D Sonic gameplay, it's all more excuses to do it, I suppose. I'm not, for the record. 3D Sonic levels are like going down a partially completed water slide with a custom device mounted to your head, incorporating a set of blinkers and a boxing glove on a spring aimed at your face. I always hate the way it obliges you to collect hidden tokens, when it refuses to let you backtrack or move the camera or do anything that might interrupt the ongoing white noise of spectacular high-speed stunts that you are only allegedly in control of, like a recent graduate student with their life. The levels in Shadow Generation still have your hunt tokens, but only 3 per level, and they're only for spending on boxes in the hub world that unlock concept art and music tracks. And the moment I realised that, I went, oh thank fucking Christ, I don't give a shit about any of that. Now I can breeze through the levels, not worrying about collecting any stupid tokens, feel the wind in my hair and the crickets in my teeth, which I of course appreciate because I'm a hedgehog and therefore insectivorous. Nom 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 nom. As I say, the open world hub expands the more levels you complete, but the effect of that is by the time the whole thing's unlocked, there isn't much left to do. The hub just isn't big enough to give you that Sonic Frontiers sense of cathartic freedom. By the end, your traversal powers amount to run on water, run on different kind of water, and glide like a bored summer camp attendee on a zipline. I tried getting into the open world spirit, but I felt like I was pissing around in a skate park by myself because all my friends were in remedial school. So my summary is a resounding lack of consonants. You know, part of the evidence I have for Sonic Team not knowing what the fuck they're doing is that they never recognise Shadow as the profoundly easy target for mockery that he is, with his fucking Heelys and his fucking Batman voice. No, it's all straight faces and tragic backstories when he's around, isn't it? No good-natured ribbing from the less uptight characters asking to borrow his Cure albums. Why can't you be more like Sonic? He's upbeat, with his smiles and his jokes and his one-liners. Dear God, what am I saying? All's forgiven, Shadow. Pass the shoe polish.